really are a detective.
Why are you looking at me like you don't recognize me?
Looking short stuff here. Did you come to get stepped up?
Let's pop this blowdown.
I don't think that's how it goes.
Let's pop this blowdown. I agree. Star Trek Prodigy Season 1, Episode 17, Ghost in the Machine, has been released here on this Thursday, December the 8th, 2022. But we're just getting started here on Live Long and Podcast for another review and discussion around the newest episode. I'm Dave Mader. Joining me tonight, Jane Mader.
Hello.
Hello. And, of course, Davan Skelhorn. How are you doing tonight, Davan?
Good, but I'm changing my name legally to Glitter Smooch.
Glitter Smooch? Yeah.
So cute.
Yes. I'll never look at our friend Murphy the same. He'll now always be known as Murph No Shoes. Hit us with a song, Murph. Lots going on. It was a holodeck episode, effectively, of Star Trek Prodigy. Not always my favorite, especially after Voyager beat the holodeck episode into the ground. It felt like by the end of their run, but yeah, let's talk about this episode and the ongoing saga of Star Trek Prodigy Season 1. Jane,
So I found that interesting that you're not a holodeck person. I am.
the holodeck episodes. Well,
Yeah.
they're a little hit and miss, and I think that some of them especially in Voyager, were not my favorites.
Okay.
Davin, do you share this sentiment, or are you a holodeck episode fan?
No, I'm not really a holodeck episode fan, though. I think the Voyager ones were generally better than the TNG ones.
Interesting.
Oh, see, this is
One
what
thing
I
I
love about
will
Star
say-
Trek.
DS9 totally ruled the holodeck episodes just because of Vix. Everything at Vix was awesome.
Oh, see, I did. Oh,
Yeah,
the
and I felt-
baseball and Vic Fontaine.
Oh, and the baseball one.
Well, the baseball
Oh,
ones.
baseball
I
episode.
love the baseball episode, but
Me too.
by the end, I felt like by the end, I'd had enough of Vic Fontaine and the nightclub of Deep Space Nine. We haven't even got to the first episode yet of Deep Space Nine in our rewatch series over there on Tuesday. But there's just so much of it towards the end of the show, and you're like, is this really where we're ending the show in the Vic Fontaine? Which we only introduced 30 episodes ago in our run. But but I get why they did it. It was a good character and everything else. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this one, the Ghost in the Machine.
This one I have some issues with.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us what you thought.
Well, I just didn't like the writing in this one a whole lot, to be honest. I thought it was strange when they're eating ice cream and they just keep talking about violence. Like, I don't know if usually when I don't like an episode of this show, I can see why it's still a good episode for kids. But this one didn't seem to be that way for me, because they're they go into the holodeck and Jankum, he goes in there to street fight. It's very strange. And he's talking about, they're all talking about slapping people while they're eating ice cream. I don't know. This one and it didn't really have a lot of Star Trek stuff going on. The ending was good, but just the cliffhanger, basically.
Yeah.
But,
They're out of the neutral zone by the end.
didn't really do it for me, this one.
Hologram Janeway, little suspect.
I'd say this is the first time in Prodigy that I've really felt like I was watching a kid's show, and it was during that ice cream scene that I was like, whoa, they're really catering to the kids. And even though you're saying it's violent, it still just felt really
teaching the kids to treat their depression with food.
Yeah, it's the first time I really got that feeling in Prodigy, because otherwise I'm like, it's an adult show.
Much like
I love
Deanna
it.
Troy and her chocolate sundaes when she's feeling down. They go into that.
Yeah, the messaging was just all off on this one. The thing you think they're trying to say, they actually end up saying the opposite. Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange.
As I was watching this today, I messaged you that I got for the submission of the approval of the Midnight Society, and I was
that nod. I liked.
Yeah,
we're
talking about Are You Afraid of the Dark, a show that was on when we were kids. That was like a white TV horror show, sitting around the campfire telling ghost stories. Some great episodes back in that show, and I did feel a little bit of that in this one.
What did they call it though? They had a name for it, though, the Key Society or something.
The key, they called it the Key Society, but there was also like stuff going on. Like it felt like very spooky, especially in the mystery scene and everything going on there.
I just thought it was like a young Sherlock Holmes, like a Hardy Boys, like it's just a really kidded down version of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, it was that
Right?
too, and it was just like what it was registering for me specifically. It's not. I don't think it was necessarily intentional. But Jane, let's talk to you about what this episode and Star Trek Prodigy. You've never been on here to talk about Star Trek Prodigy.
No.
You're the first outside of Davan and Jessica and I to really talk about the show. So
True.
just
What am I thinking?
What do you think of
liking
Star
it.
Trek Prodigy as part of Star Trek? I guess.
It's Star Trek to me. I'm enjoying it.
It's an enjoyable
Very enjoyable, and
thing as part of Star
I've
Trek.
said all along it's for adults as well, except for this episode. It just felt like they were really, I don't know. Until we got to the Janeway part at the end, I'm like, okay, we're back on track. But all the way up to there,
in this particular episode.
in this particular episode,
It felt like it did slow down the story of the season too much for you.
yeah. And I love
Episodic.
episodic episodes, but this one just didn't work for me.
Okay. Well,
Because
you know what?
usually those episodic episodes advance character for somebody, but none of that in this either. It doesn't do anything unless Jankum Pog being a Street Fighter advances his character. But other than that, it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Street Fighter Zero likes the mysteries.
I did like that part of it, but here if we're gonna take anything with the writing, maybe we should start with this guy, Chad Quant. He wrote it, or at least he got the
Enough,
credit.
Chad.
Yeah.
So did you guys ever see the Ghost in the Machine, the movie from like 20 years ago?
Is
think
that
I
like the Val
did.
Kilmer movie or something?
I can't
No, it's
remember.
an
Just-
anime, right?
No, I think it's live action.
Isn't it like about racists or something?
I think it's about I think it's sci-fi, but I feel like I've seen it. Like immediately when I saw it,
Or
I
am
was
I
like,
thinking
oh,
of,
that
am I thinking
movie.
of Ghosts of Mississippi?
I don't know.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
okay,
All right.
move
Well,
on.
Anyway, Ghost in the Machine, referring to the holodeck. Of course, Andrew Schmidt, the director. Let's talk about this episode, which starts off with what we think is a battle here between the Protostar and the Dauntless, where we got them at working their various stations. We'll come to find out that this is just a battle simulation, a drill that they're running. But it's not going so well as torpedoes coming at them in the early stages of this episode, going quite awry. They can't, of course, hail back. They try to get Rock Talk to send Morse code messages, like we which I thought was
Which
It's like it's
Yeah.
not working. They just think we're shooting at them. That was pretty funny, actually.
yeah, like it's incredible that they can't find a way to talk to another ship without using their ship.
Yeah.
Still, like, can you try just like 2 cans with string?
what about like in Battlestar Galactica time? They did it without computers. How did Delma communicate to other ships? The old school by telephone. Telephone.
Yeah, radio
work?
signal
Radio.
seems like. Can the living construct intercept thing? Could they just write a message on their hull, Davan, that says what they want to say, like in big
I was
paint?
thinking a message in a bottle. Just write it on an old school piece of paper.
A
put it in
message
the
in a
bottle,
bottle would work too.
Toss it
Yeah,
over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
they can transport
Transport it.
over.
Off their hull.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a few things with this. I'm not
Kids,
quite.
though, they're not that smart.
No, the kids won't be. Only these adults who will be criticizing it on a podcast will figure that part out. But anyway, so
They
they're
put it
they get blown up here by the Dauntless in the simulation. They try to fire back, but the Dauntless is a much more powerful, bigger ship, and in every simulation,
Oh, I like the little. Oh, he's scared.
No.
Murph says, "No, hold me while we die." And yeah,
He's
and,
indestructible. Murph's got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, it's
he missed Rock Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And so we get here. The holo simulation ends, and they said they've run this a few times at this point, and it's never going too well for them. So, this is where they're like, well, we're never going to be able to go back, leave the neutral zone, or go to the Federation, which is really what kicks off this episode. Is that the crew is like, well, maybe we have to just abandon that plot or that plan and figure something else out. And the premise of this episode is that the Janeway hologram, influenced by the living construct, is now against them or working against them in some way. Although remember when they tried to drop off the ship a few episodes ago in the snow, they tried to bury it in the snow, and the Janeway hologram in theory should have stopped them then, because that would have been a deviation from the core mission, right?
Mhm.
You know,
I
Yeah.
didn't think it would work.
yeah, like I guess, but it seems like that's when the Janeway hologram would have first turned on them, not at this moment, in particular.
You're banging your mouse or keyboard extra hard tonight.
I am.
It's coming through every time. Bang, bang.
Well, I'm flipping the
Bang.
pictures.
bang.
No.
Yeah. Well,
Flip.
it's
hear that?
coming through on your mic pretty good.
It's probably on Jane's mic.
Oh. I'll move my mic over this way.
Yes. Oh, we already got 10 comments.
Maybe more lightly. Select.
Where's Jessica? She had family
She's here.
issues.
What are you talking about?
Hi.
Hologram Jessica.
That's your Jessica impression?
Yep.
Pretty-
Sam wants to know who you think's gonna win Survivor.
I'm so sad about Cody. You have no idea. No idea. I'm not over it yet.
Yeah, too soon.
Jesse. Sorry. Yes, I know. I think he's happy, but yes, I think he's gonna win.
Yeah. So okay. So let's get back into the episode. Okay, stop banging the board.
Gently.
I'm gently pushing.
yeah,
Gently pushing that. And
Anyway, we might get to
Ice
this,
cream.
ice
Okay.
cream. Yes. So they think that they leave the holodeck. We find out that they never leave the holodeck here. This is just like a loop, or a simulated.
Even the ice cream.
Even the ice cream was fake.
Like, what does it matter? They enjoyed it and everything, but they find out it was fake later, and then it's like, oh,
Like it was some kind of
That was
cheat or
terrible.
something.
yeah.
Yeah, it has to be in my system. It's not just that I tasted it. Yeah, and they're just kind of cover that up with some ice cream. What kind of ice cream is this? You think, Jane?
could be chocolate chip, could be maple walnut.
It's got purple bits in it.
Butter rum.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're all eating that. This is how they're, especially
Need some
Dal.
good old Nova Scotian moon mist. It is a space show.
Oh, the Moon Mist, the favorite of Richard Mater, which is a combination of bubblegum, banana, and cotton candy, if memory serves.
It's nasty.
It is. It's the
No,
nastiest.
it's fantastic. What? Get out of
I
here.
am not a fan of it, but my brother Rich loves it. It was always his
where's that?
go-to every time we were in Nova Scotia. I went for like mint chocolate chip or something, a little bit.
La-di-da.
Yeah, I know. Moon Mist, not my favorite. But yeah, it's got some Moon Mist vibes here. So does Murph, for that matter. Minus the yellow part, maybe. But Murph, if he's eating this ice cream, he can be a Moon Mist. And Sam just, he likes the cookies and cream or the birthday cake. What is your favorite Moon Mist? Would you say? For the down homer.
Who, me? No,
Yeah,
I'm
you.
boring. My favorite ice cream is like chocolate or vanilla.
Yeah,
I'm with vanilla
cookie
or
dough.
chocolate chip.
Cookie dough, guys. That's the best one.
Cookie dough is pretty good.
Oh, those ones with with a little bit of like a peanut butter and a caramel chunk or something in there,
Can't
or
go
a fudge
wrong.
chunk,
Moose tracks.
salted caramel.
Yeah, there's some good ones out there. Like I think I like some texture in there, some bits of things. But I can enjoy a vanilla.
Purple triangles. For example.
Purple
Purple
triangle
triangles.
flavor is the new one, maybe. Yeah, and so then even like Gwen is like down in the
Doing
whipped cream.
whippets.
Yeah, they're going nuts here. Yeah, but this felt very kid, like a bunch of kids just sitting around eating ice cream.
This is where Jenkin's like, I want to slap people with my words. But first he says he wants to slap people, then he looks at the camera. It's like he breaks the fourth wall and it's like, with my words. And then Gwen's just like, I want to slap my father with my hand.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that part. Yeah, and so they all kind of go to bed here, and the lights go out, but there's like this music playing,
Mhm.
And so like, and Dal tries to turn it off, but it doesn't work, and he kind of gets. I always love. He's got the captain's quarters. He's got Chakotay's old room, presumably. And then Gwen's doing what she does at night, which is apparently pull-ups. With her heirloom item.
She's got scrawny arms. She's looking for some definition.
Yeah, she's got to work on some definition there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Very scrawny arms. So we see these boots go by.
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever see who this is.
I didn't rewind it, but I didn't see it. It was so fast.
Yeah, it's so fast. But she notices it, and then she tries to call over, say, "Hey, what's going on? Like, is somebody on the ship?" Jankum Pog then runs over into this thing, which I don't know if we ever.
Jankum walking by, wasn't it? Jankum?
No, it wasn't Jankum.
She said it was like, what'd she say it was? Like
some kind of weird looking human, she says, but it almost looks like
Yeah.
one of the Tellarites or from later on. I don't know. It's just a weird thing that we see here.
Barnus Frex.
It's Barnus Frex. And this item here, is a holodeck character. And even though the entire protostar is equipped with holo emitters, of course, because Janeway can go anywhere in the ship, but the holodeck characters are supposed to be
limited
to the holodeck.
Interesting. That's a good point, Dave.
Glitter smooch.
Bitter smooch? Is that that was glitter smooch. Glitter smooch. This is the thing that turns into the big squid thing later on in the episode, right?
Yep.
That attacks the pirate ship. I think.
Yeah. I think so.
Right. It almost looks like a Pokemon or something. I don't know.
Oh, it's so cute. Look at the eyes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's why
target audience right here.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't think I was the target audience for this particular thing, but that's okay. And so they're kind of starting to figure things out. What the heck's going on here with the glitter smooch, and then the fog starts here, and then this is when they end up in the simulation. Which is at first is this mystery one. Where I really liked the visuals. Like, it looked really cool. This environment that they made for the little bit we get to see it. We see this lighthouse in the distance. Yeah,
Peggy's Cove.
Maybe it's Peggy's Cove.
Stay off the black rocks.
And Janeway's on the inside trying to help them. Saying, "Oh, you guys are stuck in the holodeck and this and whatever. Let me work on getting you out." But we know she's not really helping them. Is this the part too where like Zero is like further away, and I think they also explain that, well, how can Zero be that far away if we're all in a room that's not that big? And Rock explains that there's the holodeck is tricking you in a bunch of different ways, you know, in terms of how you see things.
I like that part. I mean, that's definitely thoughts I've had in the early days.
Yeah, really, they don't touch on it too often. They explained it in that. Remember that episode? I guess the first instance of Moriarty, the first Moriarty holodeck episode, and like Geordi's explaining this to Pulaski in the episode, but they really haven't re-explained it since that, which is like 1988. So it's been a minute. So I didn't mind them that they threw it into this episode, kind of just explaining that like the trickery of the holodeck and how so many people can be inside of it in different environments and different things. Zero opens the door and says, "Oh, a mystery at the strike of midnight." Great animation here, So they're trying to figure out what's going on here. This is one of Zero's simulations where Zero solves mysteries. This is what Zero's favorite thing is. Every time I solve a mystery, the arch appears and we can leave the holodeck. So they're like, okay,
what's that white thing?
It looks like a snake in a bottle, or some kind of specimen, an oddity, perhaps.
An oddity.
Yeah, in this study environment. So Zero's like, come on, this will be exciting. And this is where I messaged you about the Midnight Society and everything else. I was like, okay, I'm starting to get like the real horror vibe. Maybe this is like a horror episode. It's not really. It kind of changes more into like this, just going through the different environments of the holodeck. But that's where I was. And, Gwen's like, okay, we'll be a bunch of gumshoes here. What do we have to solve? So they're trying to go along with it. This is when the clock strikes midnight. And then all these letters start coming in through the mail slot, addressed to each of them.
Something's a feat.
Something's a feat. Yeah, that wasn't that good of a joke. You liked that joke, did you? Okay, well, again, target audience, right? Maybe. So, yeah, figuring out what to do. I had forgotten, Davan, that Gwyn is the linguistic expert. It's been so long since we've used Gwyn's linguistics skills that because they have the universal translator, it kind of takes that part of her skill set out of the mix more often than not.
So does she have like Hoshi skills or that good?
Yeah, because her when they were on Tars Lamora, like her father had trained her to learn all these languages.
That's right. They all couldn't speak to each other.
Yeah, but she had to learn all the languages of everyone.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so she's like a Hoshi level linguist. Yeah, or Hura perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so then they kind of figure out that they have to put like their pages together. Solve it. Okay, it's gonna be a series of mysteries just to find out that this is a mystery that will never end, that they're never going to really get there. But at first, you're like, okay, they're making a key or whatever. It's like an escape room.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was like. Oh my god, it's an escape room episode.
More or less, yeah.
That's definitely what it is.
Yeah. And then they're like, okay, let's move on to the next thing now that they figured that part out. And this is where they get pulled into the Jankum simulation, which I did pull a clip here just because I loved the music.
Looking short stuff here. Did you come to get stepped up? Yep. It's my program. Jankum's been using this street fighting sim to let off some steam. Yeah, leave the key to me. Ooh, stand back and watch me play.
Yeah, anyway, it was a longer clip, but I just
He just likes to beat up taller Tellarites. That's his thing.
No, but this is the Jason Alexander Tellarite who called him the runt. Remember the doctor he met, Janeway's doctor, and he was a complete asshole to him.
Yeah,
Did we get a voice in this? Did he speak?
Oh yeah, this is Jason Alexander who's doing all of these voices.
Okay,
and later on when you hear like, "Come up here, give us a song," I'm like, "Oh my god, it's George." It's Costanza, But like in the earlier appearances of this character, the real character, not these holograms that are based on him, it was like I was like, "Oh, is that Jason Alexander?" It's like almost completely unrecognizable. But here you could hear it a little bit more. Because maybe he was hamming it up a bit more with these holodeck characters. Anyways, Jankum Pog's beating them up. Where's the key? Everything else, And this is apparently how he's been relieving that stress of being disrespected a few episodes ago, when he met the doctor of Janeway, whose name I can't remember. The five-finger teller, right? Anyway, so he's like, "Hey, the safety protocols are on. I can't even get hurt." And then he gets a big kick here from one of them and knocked across the alley, and he gets a tooth knocked out and realizes that hey, I can get hurt. That did hurt.
Yep.
Holodeck safety protocols, easily the biggest malfunction in Star Trek.
It's a lot.
Nothing ever malfunctions like safety protocols. I don't think I would get in a holodeck just for this reason. Like, if it was it's the good chance a holodeck is going to try to kill me if I get in.
Yeah,
I'd still get in.
Me too.
We find out Gwyn doesn't spend a lot of time in the holodeck. She's like, "Is this what you guys do in here?" She's
like, "I see why you like it."
I see why you like it. Anyway, and then he's like, "Hey, Janeway, get me out of here, Janeway hologram." And he gives his command codes to Janeway, which it's also a little bit odd to me that Janeway doesn't have access to this already because Janeway was with the ship before.
So who would have issued his command code?
Her?
How did he get control of it?
Well, they thought when they first came on the ship, Janeway hologram misinterprets them for cadets. Or for other Starfleet, and so I guess that's how he got it. But basically, this power that he gives to her, she originally gave to him anyway. So it's kind of a strange thing. But anyway, so let's get the safety holograms picked up here, and then this guy rips the thing off the wall. We see the key there on his tattoo, which I thought was cool. Cool fights here. I think Rock Talk even jumps into this. Murph showing off his skills with the fighting. And then Rock Talk with the big like Hulk smash move here. Some fun. These holograms just like disintegrate until there's just this one guy. Homeboy with the tattoo. And so watch out. Here come the Protostar gang, the Prodigy gang. Progeny starts running away. And Rock Talk just like slams him to the ground like Kane style or Undertaker style choke slam, Davan.
Choke slam.
Yeah, and so he's like, "You guys will never get out of here," or whatever. And then they start looking at the key club, which is the next clue that also doesn't matter, but we don't know that yet. So then it transitions into a black and white program, like film noir, if you will. And at this point, I'm starting to think, oh, is this like to do with the photonic aliens we met in like the Bride of Chaotica episode? Like, is something going on here with holodecks aliens or something like that? No, but this is where my mind was going at this point. The Key Club, which they come into here, it's real like 1930s, I suppose, 1920s, kind of 40s. I don't know, early 20th century, if you will. Kind of like speakeasy kind of bar, And we see that like again, the Tellarite doctor is here now. Again, Jason Alexander. Doing it up, say, "Come on up here, everybody, give us a song."
Come on up here and give us a song, would ya? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Murphy, No Shoes!
So you're feeling blue and having a bad day. Don't you fret it, just smile and forget it. With your cup half full, I swear those blues won't stay.
What?
Murph can sing and Murph can dance!
Or convincingly lip sync.
I worry if the skies are sometimes gray.
So, what do you guys think it is? Is it that Murph can sing, or is Murph lip syncing?
He's lip syncing. Lip syncing.
Lip syncing.
Okay, I thought so too.
Yeah,
convincingly. That I'm not sure what that expression is from Jaemeel. Is that a? I'm not sure what to interpret there, but this is a fun moment in the episode where Murph, and are we going to call now our friend Chris Murphy Murph No Shoes?
Murphy No Shoes, yeah.
Murphy No Shoes.
Murphy No Shoes.
Okay, so then she goes and gets a Jumja tea from the barista, the bartender here, which ends up being a hologram of her father. Weirdly enough, but John Noble trying to be this character, but also a 1920s bar guy as well. It was fun, kind of interesting. There's some voice work here that he does with it, trying to be a new character, but still recognizable. A Jumja tea would presumably be what from a Jumja stick, like on Bajor, like a sweet Jumja
tree.
Yeah, the Jumja sap.
Yeah. Very sweet. Very sweet.
Very sweet. Yeah. He's getting the tea together. He's like, yeah, do I know you? And she's like, not as well as you think. Anyway, she starts confiding in this hologram and working on some of her issues. I think like this is setting up something to come up in the next episode. Because it doesn't quite get resolved, but it's kind of like it's thrown in here. And then they're looking around, trying to figure out what the clue is. They're trying to find the key, right? Is this what they're still the master key, the skeleton key?
Yep.
And I think this is and this is where Rock Talk says like why there's thousands of programs. Why is it only pulling programs that we use specifically, right? And so
favorite ones.
Our favorite ones. Yeah, because it's the best chance to keep them distracted, as we find out. But so I like the problem solving here that Zero and Rock Talk work out. Often Star Trek episodes are just problem solving kind of exercises, and I think that's kind of a good thing, especially with the kids show version of Star Trek. Anyway, so they're starting to put that together. Meanwhile, they're looking around, and Jank and Pog grabs this case, which I guess there was some kind of gangster deal going on here. In this Murph simulation, And I didn't get a shot of all the latinum inside, but basically the gangsters start coming after them. She finishes up her chat here. Gwen does with the diviner hologram. He's like, well, whatever your pop put on you, maybe you need to, get your own path or something like that. Find your own way, like some sage old advice that only a hologram could give you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a bartender.
Only a bartender hologram. Anyway, so they're like, get them, like the gangsters, and so they have to try to make him an escape here. Murph's still singing up on the stage. It was a good gag, and then we hear the piano is missing a key, or is it
Now I wondered why Rock could tell this. Any musical background?
No,
for
yeah.
Hemingway?
How does Rock Talk even know what a piano
Yeah.
is? But maybe that's in the sciences. It's one of the sciences.
One of the 198 sciences.
Yeah. Rock Talk does know a lot of things now, presumably. Doesn't know how many sciences there are, but learning that part. Anyway, so that's like, the key is missing, and so that's the next clue. I think they figure out they have to jump in the piano or whatever.
Portal.
Anyway, they all jump into this one, and this is where they end up in the pirate ship next, which I thought was a funny gag. This ends up being Dal's program, where Dal just wants to get respect from the crew, and all these pirates are like, "Oh, whatever you want, matey," Come on. I just and they're all they're more of these Tellarite doctor guys, with different versions. Some with eye patches, some with darker beards than others.
So why would Dal have Tellarites like that?
No, they wouldn't. But this is like the part of the malfunction.
Oh, because that wouldn't be in his original program. It's just
they were just pirates in his program.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but now they all look like Jason Alexander's Tellarite character. So they're like, we're gonna throw you into this one episode, Jason Alexander, a lot. So get ready, And he's like, come on, mateys, we're looking for the treasure, the key. I like how this one guy's like, I'll look for it over on the side of the ship, and he just like jumps off. There he goes. And then this monster thing attacks next. The glitter smooch of it all. There's some cool animation in this episode and in this sequence. Just seeing this big monster thing attack the ship, I thought, for a TV show especially. But anyway, there's the whole action scene that unfolds here. Not as much to really explain. And then we see the cute monster,
pretty cute,
who is malnourished.
Look at those little teeth.
Them chiefies.
That looks terrified. If that thing was on the side of the ship with those tentacles, I don't know. Anyway,
Stay Puft.
It's kind of like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man sort of menace kind of thing. But it's a lot of chaos, a lot of things going on here. I think they grab Jank and Pog at this one point. So stress, and like Gwen comes in to save them here. And then she's the one to say to Rock Talk, like, what did you do last time? I prescribed fruit and vegetables. I need fruit and fiber, I think is what this they just shoot it with a cannon, which is
a malnourished glitter smooch.
Malnourished glitter smooch. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, good. And goes away. And then the ship starts sinking, and we need to move on to the next clue. Here comes the compass. But Zero plays like, no, we need to stop. Like, it's just gonna be something. There will be some new simulation. I was kind of curious to see where they would go next. I guess it would have been Rock Talk simulation, maybe. No, because that glitter smooch comes from Rock Talk simulation. So. And we find Gwen doesn't really use the program. I guess her contribution was the diviner being in this thing, Anyway, so this is Zero giving the exposition. Murph's not having it. He's like, what do you mean we're not going to go after the compass?
Sassy
Murph. Well, and we need to stop. And I like how Rock Talk's like, you can float, but whatever. Anyway, but someone's trying to keep us in here. It's all been a way of, there's a montage here. Us looking back at everything. Everything was about keeping us occupied, keeping us moving on to the next thing. Nothing's
Stop them from figuring out the real mystery, which is how they got trapped in there in the first place.
right. Exactly. And then they're like, "This is what we need to do," but I guess them figuring it out is enough to sort of end the calamity. Because they're about to hit the water, but I'm like, okay, but if you hit the water, guys, you can swim for maybe not rock talk, but the rest of you can swim. But anyway.
Ended the program.
Murph can make a boat for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, this ends the program, and Janeway hologram comes in, but now they're like, "You suck, Janeway hologram." And
Why did you do it, Janeway?
Why?
Why are you looking at me like you don't recognize me?
Yeah. Well, Janeway, did you lock us in the holodeck and try to kill us? No. Well, what's going on? And then Zero's like, well, maybe she's telling the truth. Who knows? Let's do some exposition here and explain everything.
Mm-hmm.
And let's look at the security log. Oh, and this is back at the beginning of the episode where Gwen said maybe we should not go to the Federation. Not on Janeway's watch, not on Janeway hologram's watch. She's like, we see the living construct corrupting Janeway, and how this is playing out.
This goes to what is the living construct?
It's the weapon.
I know, but is it in the ship systems? I know it is too,
integrated into the ship, and they can't
is it sentient? Is it just pre-programmed?
We don't know
what
if it's
is it?
sentient, but we know it's powerful and it's very dangerous. And the Borg were like, "No, this is bad news. You don't want to mess around with this."
So it's AI, or is it or we just don't exactly.
We
know
don't have
what
a
it
full
is.
explanation of it, but it's incredibly powerful, dangerous, and they can't remove it. Is all we really
key to destroy the Federation.
And it's going to destroy the entire. It's like a virus of sorts, a computer virus, maybe.
Yeah.
So, and really, the mission is to make a Trojan horse here. Like the living construct is like the all the soldiers inside of the Trojan horse, and so we see here Janeway was setting a course towards Earth, the Terran sector, I suppose, out of the
So where are they? Oh yeah, no, they're in the neutral zone. So they're already in the alpha. They made it.
So this was the neutral zone over here, and
They made it,
yeah, they're not that far from Earth though. Really, Earth's right here.
Yeah.
So they're on their way. And Janeway's like, I would never hurt you guys intentionally. I ask her, though. She looks pretty serious. What's going on? Red alert, everybody. Head up to the bridge. And this is the cliffhanger for the episode. The Dauntless right there. We're no longer in the neutral zone. And I don't know. Again, message in a bottle, Davan, perhaps.
Worked.
Well,
try the Morse code again.
Just how about just holding up Bristol boards through the window?
My question is, who's in command of this ship right now? Because Janeway was knocked out.
Of the Dauntless,
Janeway was knocked out.
That was the other cliffhanger we that wasn't resolved.
So maybe
if
it's the Diviner, then would he want them to infect the ship he's currently on? I don't think so. Depends.
And then Janeway, what? Yeah, that's correct. But that's right. I had forgotten that.
Andorian guys in command.
What's that?
I guess the Andorian guys in command. I guess
presumably.
Well, the Andorian and that. What was the name of the other? Not the Diviner, the Vindicator. Vindicator.
The Essentia of it all. Jaemeel is the voice actor.
Oh, okay.
Who's been in a bunch of stuff.
From the Good Place. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. I good thing you brought that up, Jen, because I had forgotten that last episode ended on this other cliffhanger with what happened to Admiral Janeway, the real Janeway. We don't know how that's played out, but now the two ships are back together, so that's kind of setting up the next episode, episode 9.
Yeah, I don't think she's in command. I think they've
probably not, because they haven't resolved what happened there when she got knocked out by the Diviner. And the next episode is called Mind Walk.
3 more episodes this season.
Yeah. I'm just gonna see if there's any kind of trivia or details to discover here, guys. Let's bring it up. I think there might be. In 2369, the crew of the Enterprise D experienced a very similar situation in an episode called Ship in a Bottle. They should have maybe called it Message in a Bottle, where the holographic James Moriarty, who, like hologram Janeway, was also sentient, similarly attempted to take control of the ship. Moriarty's plan also consisted of trapping the crew in the endless holodeck simulation that was intended to trick them into believing they had left the holodeck.
Much like a certain count from Transylvania.
Yes. Yeah, that we're going to be coming up on our lower deck story. The map towards Earth showed the protostar's current location in the neutral zone as being adjacent to the Yadala sector, which was originally from the Star Trek, Star Charts, and Stellar Cartography, the Starfleet Reference Library reference books, but were later shown in Star Trek Picard, Discovery, and Strange New Worlds, making this all canon.
It's canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the episode Masquerade, which aired by Nickelodeon in some European countries such as Croatia, Hungary, and Poland ahead of the US release, this episode was really scheduled to air on November 22nd. However, other programming was aired that day instead. Mr. Murphy No Shoes' song Smile and Forget It was written by Troy Klein and acquired through Song Trader, a platform whose content is licensed for use in films and television. And the phrase Ghost in the Machine refers to consciousness dwelling within a computer, in this case, the hologram Janeway being manipulated by the living construct. That's my details discovered for this episode. Let's talk about the ratings, guys. And bring this one in. Okay. Prodigy. Okay, sorry. Make this a little bigger for you guys. Okay. Do you guys? Okay, I'll go 7.5. It was fine, but I don't need to.
6.
6 from Davan.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6.5.
6.5 from Jane. Not great. A little lower. Not the worst either. Okay, I kind of do want to know what the IMDb scores is as of right now. With just 24 votes, it sits at an 8.2. So we'll see what eventually happens.
The last few have just been so good too. Like, so
yeah,
it was.
I didn't think it was like a bad episode. I just feel like it maybe did slow things down a little bit too much. But people are saying, "Hey, give me episodic," and so they kind of gave you that. But I don't know, maybe not enough. What was today? December 8th? Yeah. And 2384. Whose episode was this? Zero's?
Janeway? I don't know. Like,
was it anybody's? It felt like a Zero episode a little bit. Because Zero was the one figuring.
I guess so. Solving the mystery,
yeah. Well, I think that deserves the credit.
Thank him a bit too, because of the Tellarites were everywhere because of him.
Yeah.
You really are a detective.
Yeah. So there you go. Zero, the detective. Okay, so rating tonight 6.7. We'll get Jessica's when we check in with her next. That is the lowest for this season overall. So,
not his favorite.
Is it? Actually, for the series, we're saying that this is the worst episode of Star Trek Prodigy.
Yeah, I would say.
Well, I'd have to look at the earlier episodes, but compared to recent ones, yeah, it's definitely lower.
Yeah.
Not as great.
But it's not a bad episode.
It's not bad, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's not the best episode either.
I liked it a little more talking about it with you guys, but watching it by myself, I was like,
Yeah.
It was boring. Like, yeah.
Yeah. What does the IMDb stand for, guys?
Internet Movie Database.
Yeah, but it also does TV. Sam's going 9.9 on this episode. He loved it.
Glad you liked it.
Contrarian.
Yeah, and Sam's calling for more Jane in these podcasts.
I know. I'm more of a listener, honestly.
Are you an Ellie fan on Survivor?
Yeah, I don't know. Ellie's eyes kind of did something to me. But I am a Cody fan. Are you a Cody fan?
He was. Well, he was allied with Jesse. And now that Jesse cut his throat.
Jaemeel says IMDb is Amazon owned.
Is it?
Well, then it's like, yeah, he's kind of in the organization. Then, he tell us all the.
Oh yeah,
you know,
Jaemeel's.
Okay, well,
Amazonian.
I think we can probably wrap up for this episode. What do you think? The mind walk is kind of a provocative thing, Davan. You know who it makes me think of?
Akuchi Moya.
Janeway.
Oh,
It's going to be a Janeway.
we're gonna go on a little journey.
Or it's a Chakotay. Maybe I'm thinking we're gonna get Chakotay.
Yeah, but in Janeway's unconscious mind. That's my
Okay.
guess. It'll be unconscious mind Chakotay, like the way he used to see his grandfather.
Is there,
We talk to animals. It's a Native American tradition.
is there a raven, or is that's Data's little journeys?
There's a blackbird.
The blackbird's wing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You got the.
We are far from the bones of our people. We are far from the sacred places of our grandfathers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
right up there with the Bajorans.
It's better than I like it more than the Bajoran stuff. My favorite all time is
Akuchi Moya.
the whole speech.
Akuchi Moya. We are far from the sacred places of our grandfathers and from the bones of our people. But perhaps there is one powerful being who will embrace this good crew and give them the answer they seek.
Maybe.
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 Okay, Janie, you'll be on the Gilligan's Island podcast.
I like Gilligan's Island. I watched it when I was young.
So that's a maybe.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
I'm a fan.
All right. Well, let's wrap up for tonight. Star Trek Prodigy. We can close the book on this one. What was it called?
Ghost in the Computer.
Ghost in the Machine.
Machine.
We got Mind
Deus
Block
Ex
coming up.
Machina.
Deus Ex Machina. And only a few more episodes to come in the season. And I believe Star Trek Discovery is next up for its release. But I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything because the way that Viacom's been doing it, it's like Lower Decks comes out and then Prodigy comes out, and sometimes they'll cross over for a day, and then Discovery starts, and then Picard starts, and then before you know it, Strange New Worlds.
Can't wait.
I haven't
for
had a
Strange
Thursday
New
off in a
Worlds.
while, but it's not
Only
necessarily-
season 3 I'm intrigued about is
season 3 of what?
Picard.
Oh, because everyone's coming back, and
Yeah, it's the comeback.
yeah.
I am not
mean,
excited.
How can you not?
I am.
Dave's worried.
Yeah. I was talking to Jaemeel last night about season 2 of Picard, and we were on the same page about a lot of it. So
Q
anyways,
stuff was great. The rest of it was the way.
There's not much Q stuff in it.
No, but the way that wrapped up Q's storyline and his
Oh,
obsession
yeah.
with Picard brought a tear to my eye.
I know Worf's in season 3, and I'm going to be there for season 3 of Picard just for Worf, just to see.
Yeah,
But if
exactly.
they ruin him, I will not forgive them.
They
So-
ruined Worf.
Yeah.
You can't ruin Worf if Michael Dorn is playing him. It's impossible.
Well, if they kill him, they would ruin him or something, So,
Mm.
or
They
if
can't kill Worf.
or if
If anyone
they-
gets to kill Worf, it's Julian.
yeah, Julian. That'd be-
Kill Worf.
I had a vision, and I'm going to kill Worf. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so lots coming up in the near future. Of course, this Saturday, a Star Trek Treckle Trunk on Locutors of Trek coming up. What do you talking about the new Lower Decks comic book, Davan, and anything else?
Yep, and the second issue of the Cisco run here, the Star Trek 2022 series here. Cisco's back, and there's a lot of Worf, and this second issue was really good, actually. You find out what's been going on with, like, Martok since he's been Chancellor, and what's been going on with Emperor Kalis, and all these different things.
Interesting.
So that's a good one. And also there's a Star Trek Trill
Actually,
issue that you picked up.
I do have that one. So
Yeah, that's the cover I got as well.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet.
Cool,
I read
that
the
one as
Gargoyles
well.
one today though, and that was cool.
Oh yeah.
But it was
Yeah,
just
really.
setting up. It's all
Yeah.
narrated by Eliza Maza, and she's just like, "This is Goliath. And this is." I'm like, I know all this, so it's just kind of reintroducing you to the characters, but it was cool. Anyway, so that's and then on Sunday trivia.
Yeah, The Trouble with Trivia, hosted by Quizmaster Ashley.
Ashley
And,
Millard.
It'll be Kevin and Mr. Scott and me. Those will be the
Okay.
contestants.
It's Ashley,
She's the trivia master.
and she's
Yeah.
coming up with the questions.
She's the admiral
Yeah.
of the trivia,
Yep.
I believe.
Yeah, Quiz Admiral.
Quiz that fleet admiral. I've been
wait.
banned.
And you said Kevin?
Kevin,
I've
yeah.
been banned from trivia because I'm too good.
We're
Yeah.
finding you some new competitors. Whoever wins
Yeah.
these next
For,
Yeah.
for, for a
we'll
tournament of
face off again.
champions. I'm coming back for
Yeah.
tournament of champions.
Tournament of Champions.
And then, of course, on Mondays, we do our Star Trek Enterprise podcast where we going through all those episodes. We are just wrapping up now season 2. Our next one will be about The Expanse, which gets into the whole Xindi arc on Star Trek Enterprise. So
Good
it's been a
stuff there.
long road getting from there to here. But yeah, we're ready to get into it. And Kevin's never seen any of it, so it's kind of cool for him to maybe go through all that. He was like, even last week, he was like, don't tell me about it, you know? And we're like, this show's been out for 20 years, Kevin.
20 years?
Yeah, it's 20 years old, man. I can't. What do you want me to do? And then Tuesdays, Star Trek Deep Space Nine rewatch. We are been going through all those episodes, almost 3 years now. We are going to be doing Waltz on next Tuesday. The episode with Ducat and Cisco in a cave. Evidence.
Great episode.
Great episode. Can't wait to talk about that one. So that's coming up next week. We also have Star Trek Radio Theater coming up very in the near future. We're going to be recording this live on Friday, December 16th. We got Chris Murphy playing Kirk, Adam playing Spock. I'll be McCoy. Jaemeel is going to be Scotty. Jessica is Uhura. Jeff is Chekhov. Mott as Sulu and Cord, and Kevin as Captain Claw. We got Michael playing St. John Talbot, the David Warner character. Jane, you're playing a Romulan, the ambassador, as well as some other roles. You're giving birth, I believe, to Spock at one point too. So that's exciting. Ashley will be our narrator. Davan, you're playing Cybok.
Yeah. I certainly am. I'm a true believer.
A true believer. Give me your pain. And then
I need
Jody.
my pain.
Jody,
I need my pain. Give me my pain. And then Jody as the voice of God.
You know what the best part of Waltz is? Let's pretend the Major isn't even here. Ducat keeps seeing Kira everywhere. He's like, let's just pretend she's not even here.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Waltz. Yeah. No. Yeah. Waltz is going to be. I know I'm going to come up with some clips out of that one. So that's going to be really cool. Lots going on Live Long and Podcast. Jane, did you know?
Yeah,
We're
it's hard
busy.
to keep you up.
We're busy, but you know what? We don't sleep here because we're part of a federation of podcasts, guys. An empire, a Terran empire, perhaps of podcasts, depending on what universe we're in. And we got some great ones on Fridays, which is tomorrow. KBBBL, the Simpsons podcast. What's the episode tomorrow? Homer is what?
Homer's Odyssey.
Homer's
Not to
Odyssey.
be confused with Homer's Odyssey.
Homer's Odyssey.
Yeah, I would never confuse those things. So the K triple BL with Francis and Baker. Is that right? I got those guys.
Francis and Baker.
Yeah, so check that out every Friday. Talk about a new the next Simpsons episode. We're talking about Adam about it on Enterprise on Monday. He was like, he's not going to go through every episode, is he? I'm like, oh, he is. You know, he's like, he's that. You know, until there, and we're all debating what point you're going to be like, we're out. You know, season.
My
10.
guess is season 10. Yeah.
Jody's saying season 7.
Oh no, there's good stuff. I think Hank Scorpio is like season 8.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll see how that plays out. Of course, we have our Super Mater Brothers podcasting channel where we talk about reality TV shows and whatnot.
We are brothers!
We are wrapping up our coverage of Survivor 43. Last night was the penultimate episode, and they are now down to the final 5. Next week will be the 3-hour finale and reunion show, I think. We'll be on really late, probably 11 o'clock next Wednesday to talk about all that with Jaemeel and Josh Foster and Jeff Mater, we think. You know, and we'll get through all of that.
It's pretty late for Jeff.
It is pretty late for Jeff. We'll see. Hold Up, a movie podcast every Wednesday with Chris Murphy and Davan.
No, every second Wednesday.
Second Wednesday. Pardon me. What's the next one?
Christmas movies. We're going to do The Apartment from 1960, starring Jack Lemmon. Gremlins, which is basically, we know that holds up. My question is going to be, does it hold up as one of the best movies ever made? It probably does.
It's a great movie. It's a great Christmas movie. It's a kind of the unsung Christmas
is.
movies,
Mhm.
you know.
And Tokyo Godfathers, which I've never seen. Which I've never seen The Apartment either. So I'm looking forward to it.
Murphy picks some interesting
Yeah,
picks.
Tokyo. He does.
He's only working with these 22 years. I know, but it's yeah.
There's been a couple stinkers. I Heart Huckabees and Southland Tales.
Yeah.
Okay, Jaemeel just said Tokyo Godfathers is amazing, so I look forward to it.
Oh.
All right. So unlike his Southland Tales review, which told us we were not in for anything good,
and he was right. So
yeah,
Jameel's at 100. So
he's got good taste. X-Rated, the animated series review show. That's on Tuesdays with Davan and Andre.
Yes, big interview coming up on Tuesday with the voice of
Storm,
Allison Seeley Smith. Looking forward to that. I'm a big Storm fan, one of the biggest of the Storm fans.
That's your favorite X-Men, right? Like, did you say? Probably. Yeah.
Definitely, actually.
one of the best. One of the best voices.
I love Wolverine,
in that
Kitty
cast.
Pryde a lot too, and Nightcrawler. Those are my 4. But.
Yeah. It's good. That's cool. And she doesn't do many interviews, so that's awesome for you guys to get in there. Looking forward to seeing that and the ongoing rewatch of the show. I know you guys
are on season 4.
You just season 4 now. Okay,
I just started season 4. Yeah.
Wow. And then X-Men 97 to come up.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. The Graphics History Podcast with Andre, an audio podcast, an interview podcast.
I think you might have an interview coming up with the cameraman for The Shining.
Wow.
The cameraman. Wow.
Or one of them.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then the Hellbound podcast. That's on Wednesdays. Audio podcast. Michael Chan, Alex Blackburn. I always get their names mixed up for some reason. And they talk about horror. They were talking about what's that show? That movie we watched? The
one where they
Barbarian.
The Barbarian, where
that's scary.
It's such a weird movie. It's good. It's different.
Yeah,
but there are definitely scary parts.
It's got the guy Justin Long's in it.
That's kind of a giveaway. Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah.
So check that out. It's not that much of a giveaway. And then of course, Trivial Debates, our other channel, a monthly show. We argue about movies, TV, sports in like a game show format. There's a host, there are contestants. Next one, I'm the host. It's Christmas themed. We got Davan competing. We also have Max Duda and Sterling Slowcock Bennett going in. I'll get the questions out probably tomorrow to you guys so you can start prepping. We just give you guys a week to prepare and submit your answers. Yeah. So I got about half of them written, so it's gonna be good.
You only need half of them to win this one.
Yeah, you just gotta get in there. And I think that's that covers it. If you can believe it, all of the United Federation of Podcasts.
Hard to believe.
Hard to believe.
Let's go. We'll have to start up a new one.
Yeah. No, we just got to make sure we get the ones we have going. And then Eamon Mader, who's not an official member, but in our hearts, he's got his podcast. Let's talk about fighting games. Sam's already going for you in the Trivial Debates. So cheering
Super fan Sam.
All right. Yep. All right. Well, that's it, guys.
That's it.
We'll say good night to you all. Live long and podcast. And if you don't mind, we'll just go out on here on a clip. I think that this would. When am I going to get a chance to play this again? Let's do it.
Come on up here and give us a song, would ya? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Murphy No Shoes.
Murphy No Shoes.
So you're feeling blue and having a bad day. Don't you fret it, just smile and forget it. With your cup half full, I swear those blues won't stay.
What?
Mark can speak and Mark can dance.
Or convincingly lip sync.
I worry if the skies were sometimes gray.
See you next time, everyone.